Irene, of course, is the big story out over the Atlantic Ocean. It has weakened a little bit this afternoon and will continue to move toward the Atlantic coast, and it looks like a number of major cities will be impacted by Hurricane Irene. Here's the latest satellite imagery, and you can see it moving away from the Bahamas and now starting to cruise northward toward the Carolinas, and gradually it may strengthen again as it hits the Gulf Stream waters. Right now, winds are down to 105 miles per hour, which is still a strong Category 2 hurricane. It's expected to move northward, moving along the coast of North Carolina and then pulling northward towards some of the bigger cities of New England, including New York, Providence, Boston, Hartford, Connecticut, and eventually into Maine and the eastern provinces of Canada. Check it out, a lot of tropical storm warnings and hurricane warnings all along the East Coast. Even though the hurricane is well offshore of Florida and Georgia, there are tropical storm warnings all the way up through the South Carolina state line. Then we get into the hurricane warnings along the North Carolina state line, as it will be a Category 2, moving there over the extreme eastern tidewater areas of North Carolina, as well as Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, and up the Jersey Shore. And it looks like it could still be a hurricane as it moves into New York City and Long Island and then dissipate as a tropical storm. Now, we have tropical storm watches that are still up and hurricane watches that are up from New York to Providence and Boston, and then the system will continue to move northeastward fairly rapidly through Maine and into the eastern provinces of Canada. Meanwhile, out in the far eastern Atlantic, we're still watching Tropical Depression number 10. It hasn't changed a whole lot, and it's not expected to strengthen much. It should stay over the open waters of the Atlantic and be no problems to any land. As far as our weather here at home, things will be improving. Now, it's going to be pretty hot over the weekend with temperatures running in the mid to upper 90s, but it looks like Hurricane Irene will be throwing some dry air southward toward the Gulf Coast, so our humidity levels won't necessarily be as high over the next couple of days, which means a little more comfortable during the day and much more comfortable overnight. Now, today's still pretty humid out there as temperatures climb in the mid-90s. Won't see a whole lot of rain, 20% or less on the rain chance, but some high heat indices. And then overnight, we'll fall back into the upper 70s for a low. That drier air, we'll start to feel that a little more on Saturday, and you'll feel the biggest change during the overnight hours. 98 with mostly sunny skies today, falling back into the upper 70s overnight tonight, an evening shower possible. Tomorrow sunny and hot with a high near 98, but it will be less humid, and that will allow our temperatures to drop back into the low 70s at night. Early Sunday morning and early Monday morning, we should see those temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Then the humidity levels increase again next week with a chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms by Thursday and Friday. Of course, the big newsmaker is going to be Hurricane Irene over the weekend. Keep it with KATC.com for the latest. I'm meteorologist Dave Baker in the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab. Have a great weekend.